Three suspects are behind bars tonight. Jackson police say they are accused of targeting Hispanic and Indian communities. The Inner Side's Chris Fields joins us now. So, Chris, what were these suspects accused of doing?
Well, Howard, court information reveals that these suspects robbed people in these communities, and many of them being set up and lured to other locations with false promises. The trio is now behind bars with high bonds. They didn't pick their victims at random. Deja Logan, Craig Bradley, and Cortavius Simpson allegedly targeted the Hispanic and Indian communities in Jackson, operating on the belief that those victims carry cash and won't go to the police. Investigators say the trio carried out at least 2 robberies. The first happened at Motel 6 on I-55 North, and the second one at a home at an undisclosed address. Now, in that second case, Logan allegedly lured a victim to his home with the promise of sex, and once inside, though, Bradley and Simpson broke in. They robbed the man and beat him. Between both robberies, the three walked away with about $5,400 in cash. Now, this isn't the first time Bradley and Simpson have faced serious charges. Court records show both men have lengthy criminal histories in Hinds County, including prior convictions for armed carjacking, burglary, and weapons charges. Now, all three appeared in Jackson Municipal Court Monday, just days after their arrests on multiple felony charges, including robbery and aggravated assault. Judge Jeffrey Reynolds set bond at $6 million for each defendant, but investigators say the case may not be closed. Police believe the trio is tied to other crimes, and they are urging anyone in the Hispanic or Indian communities who may have been victimized to come forward. Now, all three are being held at the Hinds County Detention Center in Raymond tonight. And if you have any additional information about these crimes, please call police. I'm Chris Fields, 3 on your side.